Hello, friends. Good evening. Well, good evening, good afternoon. It's 3:55 at my end here. I hope you all are doing great. I haven't been on in a while, but I still post, pre-recorded videos. I hope you guys have been benefiting from it. But I wanted to pop in today because I actually have some hot legal tea to spill. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited about this tea. All right, guys, join me. Welcome. If you watch this video later on Facebook or on YouTube, you're very welcome. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe to my YouTube channel. So guys, I have some amazing news for us all. We're going to be discussing something really exciting today. So as usual, let me just share my screen and let's begin. Guys, if you joined the video, please drop me a comment. Let me see you're watching. Let me know, who's watching. So there's some fabulous news. So we're going to be discussing something known as the access to ACA. Yes, the access to Counsel Act. I'm sorry, that just went out of my head. So it's the ACA Act. We'll be talking about this act today. So the U.S. House of Representatives, which is part of Congress, they passed a bill just about a few days ago, late April, and this bill has to do with something known as the Access to Counsel Act. So when people come to the airport, they are trying to get into the United States. As you know, the airports are known as the ports of entry. Also, of course, the borders, but we'll just pick one just to make things easier. When you arrive at the airport, you would usually go through what's known as the customs. The people there are known as the customs and, United States Custom and Border Protection. That's what they are known as. And they will take you through, when you come to the US, you will join a line and then they'll take you through questions and whatever. So that is all in a bid to protect the United States from so many things. And interesting to note that before this, in fact, currently what is happening and what the law is that you are not entitled or you are not allowed to have a lawyer or an attorney when you are detained at the airport. Crazy, right? So according to 8 CFR 8 Code of Federal Rules, Section 292.5b, people who are detained at the airport who have not yet entered into the United States are not entitled to lawyers or attorneys or legal representation. And so you find yourself cornered when you enter the airport and you will not be allowed to call your lawyer or your relative or whatever. And so this act is seeking to change that, okay? And the act, I'll tell you the name of the act soon. It's the short name. But the U.S. House of Representatives passed the bill just a few days ago, and this is to allow citizens, green card holders, and people with legal status such as visas to consult with an attorney if they are detained at the airport. Okay, they're detained by the CBP. That's the Customs and Border Protection. So this bill was actually introduced by Representative Jayapal. And she did this when she came into Congress in 2017. So let me give you the backdrop of this. When President Trump came into power, what he did was he passed some legislation, or it was some policy. He banned Muslims from entering the United States. There was a Muslim ban. It was widely known as the Muslim ban, and this caused a lot of chaos at the airports because people got to the airport and they realized that they were detained. They were held for hours without food, without water, and then they were deported. Okay, and these people were not, unfortunately, given the right to consult with attorneys. You can put this in contrast to let me verify, but you actually have a Fifth Amendment right to counsel, but this right is only for people who have actually entered the United States currently. Okay, and that's it's more like the due process right, and the due process means that you are entitled to have, a lawyer and go through whatever. But people who arrive at the airport, they are deemed okay. Yes, so that's the Fifth Amendment right, where you cannot deprive somebody of their life, liberty, or property without due process. But unfortunately, if you haven't entered into the country, you're not allowed to have a lawyer. So there are so many people that sometimes will, contact as lawyers after the fact, after they have been deported, or it's called the expedited removal. You don't go through the normal deportation proceedings. You are questioned, detained, held for hours, and then you're deported. You are not even allowed to step foot into the United States. So this is quite crazy and harsh. Okay, so this came about because of President Trump's what people call the xenophobic Trump rules or policies. He banned Muslims, and they were not entitled to attorneys at the port of entry or the airports. Okay, so now let me now share another part of my screen with you, and then we can talk some more about what this act means and what we're going to be seeing moving forward. Remove this and let me share. Guys, drop me a comment. Let me know you are watching, please. And then I'm here to engage with you guys. I'm not just here to engage. So guys, please drop me a comment. Let me know you are watching. I'm just trying to share my, stop screen, and then let's share another screen with you. No, this is like really exciting. I'm really happy. People call me all the time, and it's unfortunate that a lot of people that are traveling, when they're coming to the United States, they don't realize how important this is. That you need to have spoken with an attorney before you even enter the United States, because look, that kind of questioning that they're doing. Okay, so we're going to be talking about what happens exactly at the airport when you come in. Okay, guys, so let's talk about this. This is so exciting. So the U.S. Customs and Border Protection is tasked with safeguarding, as I told you guys, America's borders. They want to enhance, of course, global economic competitiveness and all of that. And as part of it, they conduct inspections, and they conduct inspections of people's belongings. Guys, you remember sometimes you see in the news that somebody has been detained at JFK or the New York airport, and they have seized snails, or they have found deer meat in their bags, or they found some delicacy that Ghanaians sometimes travel with, or Nigerians. They go and hunt all these, to the American eye, strange animals, kill them, put them in their bags, and actually bring them to the United States to consume. So it's the CBP that actually conducts this inspection at the airport and make sure that you're not coming with strange, funny things into the United States. Well, according to them, of course, we know that these are sometimes the delicacies that we enjoy, but they are going to be scrutinizing your border. Your belongings at the border, as well as scrutinizing you as a person, your intentions, your, what you're trying to come to do in the United States. So while some travelers are processed through what is referred to as the primary inspection, others are referred for additional scrutiny. So you can sometimes go through a primary inspection or a secondary inspection. Okay, so the primary inspection, when you get there, they'll ask you, hey, what's your name? What are you here to do in the United States? And these questions are all very legal, guys, because the visa that you have, that you obtained from the U.S. consulate or the U.S. embassy in your country, has a purpose. It has a primary purpose, and that purpose has to be in line with what you are telling, the questioning officer at the border. So this is where people miss it. They start saying all sorts of things, and then this gets them into trouble because they lack the specialized knowledge to be able to properly present their own claims. And that's why, an attorney such as me can be helpful for you in these situations. It's always very important to consult with your attorney before making some of these trips, because at the border, you are not entitled to an attorney. I mean, hopefully that's going to change because, of course, as I told you, the House of Representative has passed the bill. So this bill was passed, the Access to Counsel Act. It was passed just late April. And so it's going to go through Senate. And hopefully when that is passed, it goes to the president and he signs it. But until then, you are not entitled to a lawyer at the airport. So the primary inspection is, they'll ask you questions about you, your trip. And then when there's some red flags that are raised or you say some wrong things, you will be referred for secondary inspection, okay? And this will enable the CBP to facilitate travel processing and just kind of make sure that you are not here for some reason that is contrary to the purpose for which your visa was issued, or you're not a threat, or they just want to make sure of a host of things. Okay, so guys, now that we've seen what the purpose of inspection is, of course, there are other types of inspection like deferred inspection. Well, I'm not going to go into that now. I just want to go into what the act is. Guys, drop me a comment. I'll be reading comments very soon. Okay, bear with me. I just want to keep this very short. And make sure that you guys are, understand what I'm doing and enjoy it. And so please bear with me. I'm pulling up another screen here. Okay, good. So this is directly from the government's website. Oh, well, no, I don't want this one. I actually prefer something else. Well, so the act is the HR 1573. As I told you, is the Access to Counsel Act of 2021. And let's look at the overview. The overview is that, the overview means what's the purpose or the objective of this act is to clarify the rights of certain persons who are held or detained at a port of entry or at any facility overseen by the U.S. CBP. So remember, port of entry could be an airport, usually an airport, or of course at the border. And this wasn't what I was going in for. So let me go in for the documents I actually wanted to share with you guys. We're going to be I think this is it. I hope. Oh my goodness, guys, forgive me. I shared what I just shared, and no, this is some real exciting news. I'm really, really happy because people are just saying all sorts of things at the border, and then it causes them to be deported, and they don't understand. And oh, let me tell you guys, when you are actually deported, right? When you are questioned, you are detained at the airport, and you say some wrong things, you will be placed into what is known as expedited removal. I think I told you so. You'll be sent right back to your country, and then you will usually be banned for a period of 5 years. 5 years from entering the United States. And if you have a visa, it will be cancelled as well. So it's really, really harsh. So guys, just be very mindful of this. Let me see. No, I'm sorry. I just have so many documents that I was reviewing just to bring you guys the legal scoop. So I have so many of these documents open at my end here. All right, let's talk about this one. I'm going to be telling you what somebody who's against this bill said. Okay, so the good news is that it's been passed by the House of Representatives, but here are some arguments against the HR 1573. So this U.S. Congressman known as Gregory Murphy, he is the representative for North Carolina. Here's what he said, that this kind of allowing immigrants to have access to counsel is going to, number one, cost taxpayers $825 million. Okay. Number two, is going to slow down processing. These are the reasons why he's against it. Number three, he thinks that they're treating immigrants better than even citizens, and that they don't deserve representation at the border because they haven't yet entered the United States. And then number four, he thinks that it's going to remove CBP officers from, doing their job of stopping drug, sex trafficking, because they're going to be focusing on, trying to talk to attorneys and trying to get representation for, immigrants or whoever is detained at the port of entry. There's another document, a final document I'm looking for, and then we can, I guess, end it for today. I don't want to keep you guys for too long. Let me share this final screen. I'm really happy about this. I'm really happy. But guys, as I told you, pending this, just make sure that if you are traveling, consult with your attorney, and then you have, you discuss certain things with them, and then you know exactly what to say and how to present your case very well. Okay. Oh my goodness. Well, okay, good. I think I found it. Yep. Let's just discuss this, and then I think we will be done for the day. Yay, I found it. Great. Okay, so guys, normally what was happening was that people like students, refugees, green card holders were being detained. And guess what? Sometimes green card holders were actually being made to relinquish their green cards. It's known as, of course, relinquishment of the green card, or the abandonment of the green card. I-407, that's the form that you will most likely be asked to fill without legal representation. I mean, how do you deprive somebody of their property according to the Fifth Amendment without legal, without legal representation, right to counsel, and without due process? Guys, so sometimes people came to the country as students, and then they are detained. They have enrolled into a university here in the US. They're detained, and then the schools are not allowed to talk to them. They go say something, and then they're deported and then banned. So students who are ordered deported are not only prohibited from completing their studies, they may also be barred from returning to the US for 5 years. And here is a quote from, I'll get you the source later, but our immigration laws are complex. Of course, guys, I've told you guys this. Immigration law, as I told you, according to the U.S. Government of Accountability Office, that's the body that provides non-partisan fact-based information to Congress. They said immigration law is the second most complex area of law in the United States. The first is tax law. Second is immigration law. It's super complex, ever evolving. So our immigration laws are complex, and yet admissibility determinations, of course, admissibility is a term of art, and which can have life-altering consequences, often turn on conclusions that can be difficult for CBP to resolve in a high-pressure environment. With an applicant who's alone, unfamiliar with U.S. immigration laws, and I mean, it's insane. Some of these people are lay people. They don't know anything about laws. Some may be attorneys, but still have no idea about U.S. immigration law. Sometimes I even speak with attorneys who are right here in the United States, and they have no idea about U.S. immigration laws. U.S. immigration laws are very complex, and you can be an attorney right here, but with absolutely zero knowledge. And so even if you're a foreign attorney or an attorney in a foreign country, rest assured, you may know next to nothing about U.S. immigration laws, because it's so hugely complex and very, very complicated. Okay, so these people who are laymen who know nothing about laws will be subjected to questions, and they cannot present their own claims properly. Okay, so the HR 1573, what it will allow is that it will allow individuals, facially valid, of course, facially valid. On the face of it, they have valid travel documents to communicate with counsel or attorneys or an interested party, of course, at no cost to the federal government, if they are subjected to prolonged inspection. Okay, so what this is saying is that this law will be for people who are subjected to prolonged inspection. So most likely, if you are just a primary inspection, you will not be entitled to counsel. But of course, you will need my emails are blowing up. You would need counsel when you are subjected to secondary or sometimes deferred inspection. Okay, that's the prolonged inspection. Some people can be detained for as much as 30 hours. I've had calls from people who, unfortunately, they didn't call me before getting here. They called me after they were deported. They were put in expedited removal. These people sometimes are pregnant and they are detained for 30 hours, well, for long hours. But some people may be detained for 30 hours sometimes, okay? And they're not given food, they're not given water. They are drilled and grilled under just excruciating circumstances. So it's not a good thing. And so the council will be able to provide information and documentation to the inspecting officer, as well as support and legal advice to the applicant to ensure that you, as the immigrant or whoever you are, your rights are protected. Okay, so let me see. Well, I think we've done enough time. So guys, I think I'll come your way again tomorrow, and then we can talk some more about this. If I left anything out, I'll just come and then brush up on all of this. And so guys, remember, if you're coming into the US, please make sure you consult with an attorney even before you get to the airport, because currently at the airport you do not have a right to counsel. All right, guys. So as I said, this was passed by the US House of Representatives on April 21st, 2021. So it's fabulous news. I'm very happy about this, and so we're hoping that the Senate will pass it. And but in the meantime, just call me if you have any US immigration law matter. 802-7800-564. I come your way with legal videos every single day. I just to make sure you guys are getting information, and I'm just trying to bridge the gap between lack of legal legal education, especially with regards to immigration, because there's such a huge amount of misinformation and rumors that go around. And so this is my way of giving back. Call me on 802-7800-564. I represent clients, I represent immigrants all around the United States, and I handle all types of US immigration law matters. Happy to have come your way, guys. I'll catch you again tomorrow. Let me read a few comments and then we can go. Kusi Arthur says, I'm watching. So happy to have you on here, Mr. Kusi Arthur. Patrick Ado says, happy Mother's Day to you. Thank you so much. Olamide says, happy Mother's Day, attorney. Thank you so much. Kusi says a different topic. Please contact me if you need my assistance. My number is right there, and then I can give you the special attention that your case deserves. Okay, guys, I have to rush out. Please be safe, be good, and spread love. Share my video, like it, and I will see you again in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.